So good afternoon, everyone. I am John Paul Gogel, and my discussion is all about emergency management and contingency planning. So this is the module 1 out of the module 10, the introduction to emergency management. Learning outcomes. First, the students will explain the importance of managing emergency, and also students will be able to outline the preparedness legal framework in a draft paper. So to begin with, can I ask your understanding about an emergency? Anyone? Miss Lay, can you provide some insights about emergency?
Okay po, wait lang po. Emergency is an unexpected, serious, and often dangerous situation that possesses an immediate risk to life, health, property, or the environment. It demands swift, decisive action to prevent a bad situation from escalating into a catastrophic one.
So very good, no? So basically, an emergency po, ito yung situation or unexpected situation that requires an immediate action. So that's all. Emergency is an situation that requires immediate action from an individual, trained individual, or a group of people, or from the local authorities. So yun yung emergency. So why do we need to manage an emergency? So we have the peer model. Basically, the peer model is composed of people, equipment, asset, and reputation. So the first purpose is to preserve life, or to protect life, and also to protect the equipment, asset, and the reputation of the company. So here are the five elements that we need to protect: the people, property, services, livelihoods, and environment, or in short, the peer model. So the peer model, the person, it refers to the human or the manpower. The equipment, or and for the equipment element is for the tools, machine, and so on. So we'll be having a short activity. Each individual will receive an scenario, and you must answer this guided question. So the first question is it an emergency? If yes, why? And if no, why not? You need to justify the scenario. And also what the hazards that can identify in that scenario. And also who should respond first, and what are the immediate actions are required. For the first scenario, I will be giving it to Sir Brian. The first scenario is an aircraft engine catches fire before takeoff. For the second scenario, Miss Lay, a passenger loses his boarding pass. For the third scenario, Ma'am Riz, sa'yo po to. A strong earthquake damages the airport terminal. For the fourth scenario, Ma'am Brianna, sa'yo po. Heavy rain causes flooding inside the baggage claim area. And the last one is for Ma'am Faith. Two passengers argue loudly inside the boarding gate. So we'll be having a 5 minutes to review your answer, and also to assess the scenario. At exactly 5:30, you need to present, or at least justify your answer. So the timer starts now. Okay, the time is up for the first presenter, Sir Brian.
Hello, sir. Good afternoon, Sir John Paul. Am I audible, sir?
Yes, you are.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Okay, thank you, sir. So, for my scenario, sir, an aircraft engine catches fire before take. Right, sir?
Yes, you're right.
Am I right, sir? Okay, thank you. For the question, is it an emergency? Of course, yes. Why or why not? It poses an immediate threat to the lives of passengers, crew, and airport personnel. It requires urgent intervention to prevent injuries, fatalities, and damage. What hazard exists? Fire explosion.
Okay, na-disconnect ata si Sir Brian. I will move to the
So,
second
I'm
presenter.
so sorry. Sorry, sir.
Okay, Sir Brian,
Um,
please continue.
medyo nawawala po yung yung signal ko kasi. Anong part po yung nawala ako, sir? Sorry.
Nandun ka na sa question na what hazards exist.
Okay, sir. So, what hazard exists? Fire, explosion, smoke inhalation, fuel ignition, and aircraft damage. And for the question, who should respond first? Aircraft rescue and firefighting personnel, air traffic control, airport emergency responders. And for the question, what immediate action is required? Of course, stop takeoff, activate the airport emergency plan, evacuate passengers if necessary, and extinguish the fire and secure the aircraft. And that's it for my part, sir.
Okay, Sir Brian, very good. The first scenario is an emergency, no? Since it poses immediate threat to the passenger and also
Yes.
the engine of the aircraft is on fire. So it means it poses danger or risk to the passenger. So for the second presenter, uh,
Good afternoon po. So my scenario is a passenger loses his boarding pass. So is it an emergency? So no po. Why or why not? Because it is an inconvenience but does not immediately threaten life, property, or airport operations. It can be resolved through normal airport procedures. What hazards exist? Possible travel delay or identity verification issue. Who should respond first? Airline customer service or ground handling personnel? What immediate action is required? Verify the passenger's identity, reissue the boarding pass if appropriate, and assist the passenger. That's it for my part po. Thank you so much.
well, thank you, Miss Leanne. For the second scenario, it is not an emergency since yun nga, hindi siya immediately threaten life, no? So nagkaroon lang siya ng urgency but it's not an emergency. Okay, third presenter, Ma'am Riz.
Good afternoon. Am I loud and clear?
Yes, ma'am. Go ahead po.
So, in my part, my scenario is a strong earthquake damages the airport terminal. So, it is an emergency, yes. Why? Because it dangers many people, damages infrastructure, and may overwhelm local emergency resources, making it a disaster emergency. So, what hazards exist? Structural collapse, falling debris, fire, utility failure, injuries, and panic. Who should respond first? Airport Emergency Operations Center or the EOC, ARFF, local disaster response agencies, medical teams, police, and firefighters. So what immediate action is required? Evacuate occupants, conduct search and rescue, assess structural safety, provide medical assistance, and activate disaster response protocol. Thank you.
Okay, Ma'am Reese, you're correct. For the third scenario, a strong earthquake damages the airport terminal. It is an emergency since it dangers many people inside the airport. Okay, now for the fourth presenter, Miss Brianna.
Hello, sir. Good afternoon po. Good afternoon, everyone. Am I audible po, sir?
Hello, Ma'am Brianna.
Am I audible po?
Yes po, yes. You can now proceed,
Okay,
ma'am.
everyone. The scenario that was given to me is heavy rain causes flooding inside the baggage claim area. It is hazard, of course, yes. Why or why not? Flooding can threaten passengers' safety, damage airport property, interrupt operations, and also create slip and falling hazards. What hazards exist? Number one is flood water, electrical hazards, slippery floors, property damage, and service disruptions. Who should respond first? Of course, airport operations, airport maintenance, safety office, and emergency response personnel. What immediate action is required? Restrict access to affected areas, isolate electrical hazards, remove standing water, and redirect passengers to safe areas. That would be all, sir. Thank you po.
Thank you, Miss Brianna. For the fourth scenario, it is an emergency since it poses great danger for the passenger inside the airport during the earthquake. Now for the last presenter, Miss Faith, can you present your justification for the last scenario?
Okay, for the last scenario, two passengers argue loudly inside the boarding gate. Is it an emergency? No, unless the situation escalates. Why or why not? A verbal argument alone is generally not an emergency. However, if it becomes violent or threatens public safety, it may become an emergency. What hazards exist? Of course, possible physical altercation, disturbance of public order, passenger anxiety. Who should respond first? It's the airport security, airline personnel, or police if necessary. What immediate action is required? They should de-escalate the situation, separate the individuals, assess the risk, and provide security intervention if the conflict escalates.
Thank you, Miss Faith. For the last scenario, it is not an emergency unless the situation escalates. So the first responder will de-escalate the situation to avoid any further damage to the property or to the persons. Now, the next topic is all about an emergency, disaster, and crisis. So the difference between those three are the emergency is an serious and unexpected event that usually requires an immediate action. And a disaster, it is a large scale emergency that usually the local authorities are also affected. So it causes a great damage or loss of life. Last, the crisis, it is a time of intense difficulty or danger. So if we can relate this on the risk category, the the emergency usually it is inside the spectrum of the low risk category, while the disaster is on the medium or high risk category. And as you can see on this picture right above the presentation, it shows a leak in a chemical storage. So this scenario is not an emergency But if it is started quickly and unexpected, and also it caused damage to the peer element, the people, equipment, asset, and reputation, it should be considered an emergency. So in order to prevent this incident, we should make an emergency plan. So basically, the emergency plan is composed of 5 phases. So the 5 phases are the prevention, second one is the mitigation, third are the preparedness, fourth will be the response, and the last phase is the recovery. So presented on this screen are the differences between the emergency and disaster. So if an emergency happen, you can dial 911 or the emergency hotlines are still open. But in case of a disaster, there are no hotlines, no cell phone, or no signal in our SIM provider. And an emergency is a confined area or a low scale scenario. But in a disaster, it usually a large scale area that many victims are affected. So there are two types of an emergency. It may be come from the natural causes and the human causes. If an emergency come from a human causes, it means it is intentional or unintentional. But in a natural causes, it is made by divine intervention. So there are two types of an emergency, the non-disaster and a disaster emergency. So if the non-disaster, the local services are not affected and they can respond. However, on a disaster emergency, the local services are also affected. So it will require a national services to cater the needs of the affected area. Okay, next topic will be the emergency planning. So this planning or this document is a proactive approach. It means you need to anticipate any risk areas that can occur. So like I said earlier, it has 5 phases. The 5 phases are the prevention, mitigation, preparedness, response, and recover. So the best example for this emergency planning is the Titanic. So ang sabi ni E.J. Smith before na hindi pa raw nagkakaroon ng incident or any accident in Titanic. So why do we need to apply the planning? So anong nangyari during the Titanic incident, wala silang naging planning kung ano man ang meron. So sa part ng prevention and mitigation, wala silang nagawa. So as part of this module, you need to explain the 5 phases of emergency management. It is a group activity. So basically, you need to form a group. One group has 3 members and the other one has only 2 members. And you need to submit it before or on you need to submit it on or before 8 p.m. this evening. So that's all, everyone. Do you have any questions?
None at the moment, sir.
Okay, if none, you may leave this meeting and I will be monitoring your activity later at 8 p.m.
Okay po, sir.
Copy, sir. Thank you so much.